Heyo, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, and today's video is kind of a downer that may be a good change. I don't know, and we'll figure this out as time goes. So the one tree that you saw that was like bent in half, that happened during an ice storm 2 days ago. I've just been waiting for it to warm up a little bit so that there's more flexibility back into the tree trunk and the soil wasn't frozen solid, and I could actually try to decide where I want to go with this tree from here. But before we get into that, we're going to look at these two clearance trees I got real quick because, well, they're not going to take as much thinking. We're just going to look at them. Alright, so let me get you set up and we'll get right to it. Alright, so the first one we're going to take a look at here is a variegated English holly. It was originally $17, and then I got it for half off, so not super awful. It looks good. I mean, when I was walking around there, it seemed like everything was super overwatered. Like, they had quite a few succulents that I was debating getting, but once the soil was so saturated and they were already dying because they were underwatered and no light for so long, that I'm not positive that we would have gotten any good turn out from it. So sorry, I'm just doing a little cleanup here. Looks like we're starting to get little berries and stuff. It's got some thick mulch chunks in there. So, I mean, for now, we're just going to take a look and see where we want to go from here. There's even a bird feather. But I just thought it's a gorgeous little tree. I love the little leaves when they're coming in, how tiny they are. And then the fact that it's variegated, I think makes it just look that much cooler with the highlights on the edges of the leaves. So I checked it when I was there, and I didn't actually dig it out. But let me get you up and in here. Okay. So I didn't get really deep in there while I was there, but I took this guy and I pulled it, and I really didn't feel like these two are connected, but I guess it's possible. I don't know, I'm pretty far down in there right now. Oh, I'm really not sure, but we're gonna have a video on this one soon because we're getting it out of this pot and into a smaller pot because that stuff's buried way too deep. So let's just take a little look from the top here. So this was my initial view that I got to look at it from before I picked it up to look on the inside. And then I dropped down into it and I was like, okay, I can't see much from here. And my thought is, even if it is two, that looks like it's going to be a pretty solid twin trunk because they're kind of growing similar but different all at the same time. And if it's individual ones, there's great movement working its way up the trunk on both. So I'm excited about this one either way. So that is my variegated English holly right there. And now we will grab up my lemon thread false cypress. So this one was $14.98 originally. It came with some free moss. I just kid. That just makes me laugh every time whenever there's just a little bit of moss in there. So this one has a stellar trunk line in it. If you look at it real closely, I didn't really dig down in this one much at all, but I was looking and I just saw it come, and then I saw that movement off to the side and then kick back off to the top up here. And then once I got in on the top, sorry, I just really moved you around there. There's so many little branches in there that we're gonna have to make some big decisions eventually. But the other thing that I loved about it was right on that kick where it started moving the other way, like it was just meant to be because there's already a branch coming off of it. So that's absolutely perfect for what I was looking for. And now that I'm looking here, it actually has a pretty good nabari on this side. There's 1, 2, 3 big roots all up surface level. So this one may not be half as bad as what that holly's gonna be to get sorted out. All right, so This one, I got a chance to look at it and I was looking down on it like this, and I noticed that it was up pretty high. So the reason I picked this one over the other ones was this one had its own singular trunk. I know a lot of times I like to go in there and try to see how many I can find that are inside one pot, but I really like this trunk, so I decided to go with this tree. Alright, so those are my clearance, or my pre-Christmas clearance trees I picked up. So we'll see how much lower the price goes on them later, and hopefully I get some more great discounted prices on that. But now I'm going to get you set up, and we're going to have to figure out what to do with my silver wattle that got split. Alright, so let me get you set up and we'll get right to it. So here it is. Let me bring the board up a little bit better, get it to focus in. The ice just put so much weight up on the top end of this that it just folded it down completely. Now clearly, I can't save it. There's no way that I'd be able to pull that back up. I mean, I guess we could pull it up and hope that there's a vein. But my original plan for this was to have it as a normal tree that I was going to pull cuttings and stuff off of later. And that was my plan for it. But plans get changed, and I guess this little guy decided it wanted to become a bonsai tree earlier than what I had planned on. So I'm just going to come in here and just nip the rest of this little piece off. Sorry, I'm trying to hold you and do this with one hand. Got most of it here. So that took that down. Then we have this little branch here that broke off. So we're going to pop that off. And I'm going to hope that somehow this little shoot stays alive. But I'm not sure if it will or not. All we can do is hope. Then for the rest of this, I'm not going to do anything else because that was a traumatic enough experience there. So it's got some decent movement in it. Come spring, we're going to put some more in it. But right now, I just don't want to stress it anymore. I want to give it a chance to recoup and hopefully just come back, because this little guy was doing so good until that ice storm came. And everything was looking beautiful. But that's okay. We will work with what nature gave us, and we're going to have some fun with it. So I am going to end up slapping some cut paste on here, but I think I'm going to leave it rough like that, and maybe it'll become a deadwood feature. And somewhere down here, I mean, we might end up all the way down here as our first, or as our new leader, because there is no taper in this at all. It's got super cool veins running up through everywhere on it, but there's no taper. So that's something else we're going to have to deal with. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, because if you share it with your friends and you give it a thumbs up, that's 2 times the help. If you don't want to share it with your friends and just give it a thumbs up, that's still cool, because that still gives me help. But please at least give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, because that also helps me out. And if you really enjoy my content, hit the bell notification so that you'll be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.